Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Local sports report. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with my buddy, Coach Mark Hobbley. Coach Hobbs.
Peace.
Hobbs is in his dad's Pensacola High School sweater. Stand up where you can see that. Look at that, man. It's a beautiful sweater.
Yeah.
50 years old.
At least from the 70s, baby.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think I can wear anything from the 70s anymore. I think I outgrew the jersey and everything, man.
Yeah,
I'm working on it now, but I'm telling you, I don't think I can put it on now.
Well, Hobbs and I are at our playing weight, but we'll let you. We knew you weren't an offensive lineman, so we won't go there. Coach Mike Bennett is our guest. That's right, the future Hall of Fame Coach of the Year in Florida, and state champion in Pensacola High. Now head coach of the Escambia high school football team. Good friends of ours. Yes. Hobbs coached with him for many years. I coached against him for many years. And we were friends for 364 days out of the year.
That's it.
Oh, my gosh.
The only time I didn't like is when you're at Catholic and y'all beat us. That was the only time I didn't like you. I said, yeah, we had never lost to Catholic. And all of a sudden we lose to Catholic. It's like, man, good football game, though. Good football game. Coach Cyber, I still say Coach Cyber cheated till today. He jumped off sides, and then they restarted the clock. He knew this rule. Then he jumped off sides again, and we should have. They were ready to punt. We're gonna get the ball back with about a minute. He ran the doggone timeout by jumping off sides.
Hey, Coach, do you remember what he said in the paper? I think you said something about that in the paper, and Cyber's reply was, that depends on which sideline you were standing on.
That's right. That's right.
We were 38 hot, but Coach, we turned around and used that. Then we turned around and used it next week against Navarre.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we turned around and did the same thing to Navarre in Navarre that next week. We sure did. I'll never forget that.
Oh my gosh. Well, hey, you got to be smart, man. You got to be smart and tough. Those are the two things I think. Right. Vince Lombardi said, if you got a guy with a lot of smarts, a lot of head and a lot of heart, you'll never come off the field second. But it doesn't take talent to do a lot of things in football. Matter of fact, when I talk to former NFL players, and you have more than anybody I've talked to, college players as well, that they come back and say talent's only 10%. 90% is like the list that you have behind you, Coach. And why don't you go over that list of 10 things?
Yeah, but behind me, we keep this in here, 10 things that require zero talent: attitude, work ethic, effort, body language is a big one for me, energy, commitment, passion, being coachable, doing extra, and being prepared. And we feel like if you do those 10 things every day, that you'll be successful.
Gosh, that's a beautiful thing, man. You got to stress that stuff. I like you because for a lot of reasons, but one, you're a truth teller. You guys weren't playing discipline the first couple of games of the year, and you came right out and said it. And too many mistakes, too many penalties, turnovers, all this stuff. And then the last 3 games, I think you've shut out your opponent 18 out of the 24 quarters of the year, I think. Yep. Talk about Gary Cowher and your DC, your boy you've been with for 20-some years.
Man, I tell you what now, and now we will argue every once in a while.
Wait a minute. Hey, every once in a while, I saw you. I was there Tuesday night. Okay, I was there Tuesday night, and I wasn't sure if it was Tuesday night or Friday night on that sideline against Fort Walton Beach. But you guys got the job done.
Yeah, I didn't agree with him. Sometimes our philosophy is a little bit different. And you know me, man, I'm all about going after them and getting after it. And I thought we were outside on one side. He said no, that free safety would be there. And I'm looking at our free safety. Said he ain't getting there. And, we got to move him up. And anyway, that was all. But we have disagreements. I think I win most of the arguments. I do at the moment. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to go back, so we're going to do it the same way anyway. But it's okay. But there's no lie. I mean, I pride myself on defense and knowing what we're doing and how we're doing it. Except when he starts, we used to be cover 1, 2, and 3, and now we're purple or green or whatever the heck we are, man. We're box. I don't know where he came up with some of these names from, but I've learned them all over the time. But Tuesday night, man, it was a dogfight out there for a little while, and then our defense took over and in fact scored the last 2 touchdowns after it was 20-20.
Sure did.
But
sure did.
Just he's a great
6 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and whenever you get 3 turnovers, when I was a DC, I always went into a game and told our guys we're getting 3 turnovers. 2 fumbles and a pick, or 2 picks, 3 picks. I don't care, whatever it is. But winning the turnover battle is probably the most critical statistic in football that I believe.
No doubt. And Coach Godwin, like I said, we've been together 20-something years. He's had some great defenses for us, and he's the thing about him, man, he's just demanding. I mean, you're going to do it the right way, and he doesn't care who you are. But if you're a Power 5 guy, if you're a junior college guy, or you're just a guy that's going to play high school football, he's demanding on every single person on our football team, and he keeps them all accountable. And that's what I like about him. I mean, we'll win by 35, but they gave up 7. And they're down after we run, they go down and run again. They run 7 more just because they gave up 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
And he just keeps them all accountable, and that's what makes him a great football coach. I think there's some teams that over the years have overlooked him about being a head coach. I think he would have been a great head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know if he really wants to do it anymore because he's he makes a lot of money on the weekends.
Boy, no grass grows under Gary's feet, man.
No, so he's at the beach working, and man, I tell you right now, he just and he gets to do a lot of his own stuff here with us and put a lot of stuff in, just like Brett does at the offense coordinator. He gets to do his thing. And they don't lie, man. I make sure they get on the bus and the punt team gets out there. That's and I have just a great staff. And they like working. They really like working for me because they get to coach. They get input and they get to coach with me. And I've had people ask, guys that maybe have left, and said, "Man, how'd you like working with Coach Bennett? Does he let you coach?" And everybody that's ever come back and tell me that, yes, he lets us coach. Coach Baker that went over to West Florida, and he didn't go because of coaching. He went because of his daughter was going to go there. He could be at the same school, coaching here, and then driving over getting her would have been tough. So, they asked me, well, how'd you like working with Coach Bennett? He told him, hey, look, I heard all the negative things about him, and always when I know he lets you coach, and that's what I pride myself on. I learned that from Jimmy Nichols. He let us coach.
Mm-hmm. And Coach, I just want to reiterate what you're saying there, and I appreciate what you did for my career and everything by bringing me back to Pensacola. But when he's talking about coaching, you look at some of that success, and it starts on the 9th grade level, it starts on the JV level. Mm-hmm. Coach, I was talking about a JV game, and he's out there, and him and the coach, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, he's called me at the 9th grade games about why are we doing this or why we're in this situation, because he's involved with every kid in this program. He's involved with every coach in this program, and he lets you evolve as a coach. And if you can't evolve as a coach, you probably need to be coaching somewhere else.
Right. So, Coach, you're not afraid to play really good teams in the regular season. And that's I think helps you. When I was at Catholic and Tate, we tried to do that because it helps you in the playoffs. Right. A lot of coaches shy away from doing that. As a matter of fact, if you're a pretty good team, you probably find it. You have hard time getting the schedule sometimes.
Well, we do. And I've already started working on next year. It's probably, I take it for granted that we're going to play West Florida, if we're not in the same district, because you never know what's going on with FHSAA. You don't know what they're going to do yet, and that's okay. But if we're not, we're still going to kick it off, and then I've already talked to Niceville. I want to get a game with Niceville next year.
Great.
I told him, I said, look, man, but to get me to come, because we got a pretty good program too, you're going to have to pay me. And he said, we'll pay you. So I don't know if he's going to pay me as much as I want, but we're going to work it out anyway.
Well, that's, going to an atmosphere like that,
right.
Not a circus atmosphere, but a festival atmosphere where so many students and band members and parents get involved. That's the kind of atmosphere you run into in the playoffs on the road.
Yeah.
And I wish we would do that more here in Escambia County and get the community involvement back in and involved.
I hope to play them, and like I told him, you pay me, I'll come 2 years in a row. I don't have a problem with playing over there. Even though I know we'll make the good money here too, but I mean, just the atmosphere. Like I said, it's a playoff atmosphere. I was there the other night with Coach Hobbley and watching the Pine Forest guys, and man, what a heck of a football game it really was.
Yes, sir.
The special teams kept Pine Forest in the game. Brock kept him in there. He was exciting the other night. And they really truly they had a chance to win it. I mean, they had their opportunity. So I mean, and I know I'm talking about Pine Forest, which we don't play this week, but we split up and where we were going to go, and I just happened to go to Pine Forest Niceville with Coach Hobbley, and then I had some guys over at Choctaw too. So we got everybody scattered for the next 2 weeks. And
Coach, you still looking for some consistency on offense?
Well, I think we're getting pretty consistent. I mean, we're putting up 30-something points a game. I don't think that there's only one game that we didn't put up 30 over 35. There's only one game, and to be honest with you, Pensacola Catholic is an awesome. Their defense is really good. You can't blame it on the rain. Heck, they had to play in the rain too. They played in that storm, that monsoon. We both played in it. It probably helped us a little bit more because they fumbled the ball there at the end, and we were able to get it. And but their defense, and I said this to Matt, I thought that their defense was as good as our defense.
Wow.
I thought both of us went in with really good defensive front four and good linebackers. And I tell you what, man, I don't know who the secondary coach is over there, but they moved some kids around and they did a good job. We moved their secondary.
They lost some kids. Yeah, they lost a couple of good kids.
And I thought that man, these guys really good with those guys too. But hey, as long as you got number 23 over there, and do I think he's probably a defensive back knowing college? No, I think he's a linebacker, and he's going to be a great one.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing everything he can do to help his team over there. So
that's a good thing you mentioned. A lot of kids in high school, there's only one quarterback and there's only 2 running backs, but there's 4 defensive backs.
Right.
Pensacola's got 4 DBs in the NFL as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about transitioning kids or having to talk to them about switching positions, because I had to switch positions in college and I wasn't too happy about it, but it was the blessing in disguise. It was my best position.
And in fact, I talked to one of our receivers. I talked to him next year because we're gonna lose our strong safety. He graduates, and we got 3 other guys coming back that I'm really excited about. With Squirrel and Taylor, and I think Max McCulton. I think Max is playing really well. He's a 4-point-something student. You only have to tell him one time, and then Keyshawn Downs, who I really like as a receiver, but he played some DB the other night, man. And Brett and we started talking, said that may be our 4th guy. Could be. And then I tell you, and then we got CJ, and I think CJ is going to be able to come in there also. He's hurt right now. He's hurt his shoulder. That's the reason he wasn't in the game much the other night.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that CJ's got a chance, and it may be at the Bandit, it may be at the Strong, and
right.
And it may be where we don't have to move Keyshawn, but if we have to move him, we will. But all those guys, I think next year you'll see Squirrel, Taylor, Keyshawn playing some offense too. So we're going to need more than just 5 DBs. We're going to need 6 or 7 DBs that can step in and really play for us because we're going to play some guys, both ways. And and people hadn't seen Squirrel and really saw a little bit of Squirrel at receiver, but they haven't seen Taylor, and Taylor's pretty doggone good too.
Wow. It's always good to have surprise guys, man. Some guys that come out of nowhere or all of a sudden transition from offense to defense or vice versa. And that's
you never know. This coming Friday night, y'all may see something different also.
Yeah.
All right. We like it.
Y'all might see a different guy on both sides this week. I mean, I'm just telling you, we have been working on some things.
All right. Yeah.
And I've been waiting until these 2 football games to do it.
Well, it's good because your stretch is just brutal with Choctaw, Pine Forest, and Tate's no longer a pushover.
No, Tate's got a good football team, man. I mean, we got, and then we play for the Tub, and it makes no difference what the record is. We've been not very good when I was at Pensacola High School, and we played Escambia really strong. Sometimes beat them. They weren't very good, and they played us real strong back then. The same way now, man. I mean, it never the record does not matter when you're playing for the Tub.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So, we got 4 big games, man.
Hey, Coach, Pine Forest is traveling down to Bradenton this week.
Yeah.
And what do you expect to happen there? Bradenton played Bartram Trail, which I think right now, if the playoffs started, Bartram Trail and Pace would play in the first round, and Navarre would be playing Buchholz. So what do you expect Pine Forest, after seeing them last week in Niceville, what do you expect to happen in that ball game? I'm looking at IMG by 28 right now. What do you think?
Well, I think people thought that Niceville would beat Pine Forest last week by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Yeah. I didn't, and I'm gonna tell you, if IMG, if they didn't see it, if you're gonna kick the block, then Miguel can run it back at any time. He's electrifying. Their offensive line is really good, especially the left side, the center over. And the right side is not bad. I'm just saying, just the left side, that guard and that tackle are really good players. And I'll be honest with you, man. I don't know what the score is going to be because it's a trip. You're staying overnight, But I think if the Pine Forest team that came out like they played the second half last week, plays that way against IMG, then right now I think Pine Forest thinks they can upset them. I talked to one of the parents the other day, and he said, "Man, we think we can beat them." I said, "Man, go get them." Hey, look, we pull for everybody that we play that are playing somebody that we don't play, because that does nothing in that power ranking but help us. The more the Pine Forests wins, the more the Gulfbreeze wins, the more the Miltons win. Teams that are not in our district, then that helps us. Right. So we're pulling all the time for the kid. Catholic, man, we want Catholic to win the rest of them.
Yes.
We want them to beat that team in Georgia, because it helps us.
Right.
So we're pulling for all the teams that we have to play. Now, when they play each other, 2 teams that are playing that we play, they're playing each other, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to get points for and against.
Right.
But for those teams that don't play, that are playing somebody that we don't play, man, we got to pull for them.
Yes.
And, and we always, and I'm a firm believer in this, man. You got to pull for teams in your district. You got to pull for your teams in your city.
Yes.
You don't. Look, when everybody's winning, football's great around here, and crowds are great, and so
the discipline is better, Coach, in the school.
Exactly. So
it is better. Your football players are your leaders in this community.
We want everybody. We pull for everybody in Pensacola by far. We may have a rivalry with Pine Forest. We may have a rivalry with Washington. We may have a rivalry with Tate, a rivalry with PHS, with Catholic. But when that game's over, we're pulling for them. Before that game starts, we're pulling for them. We want those guys to win. We want everybody in Pensacola to do well. I can't tell you that my whole career that we felt that way, because it was really different back then. When I was in Washington coaching with Jimmy, and man, we don't want nobody to win with us. But the way the playoff system is set up now, you got to pull for your teams.
Yeah, right.
In your city that you're playing, you got to pull for them. You want them to win. You want those kids to do well. Don't get, and like I tell our kids, don't get jealous because somebody else goes to a Power 5.
Right.
Work hard and you get to that Power 5.
Right.
Don't be jealous that who I think was one of the Pine Forest. I think that one year they've got 2 in the NFL, and I think one. Don't be jealous because those guys got in the NFL. You work to get to the NFL. Okay. Right. Don't be mad because you didn't get there. Work like they did to get there. And that's what I tell our guys now.
I was jealous my high school teammates went off to Syracuse. and then afterwards they were jealous that I went to Alabama.
That's right. So look, I mean, kids are kids, but you got to understand the older you get, man, you want to see everybody do well, because if they're doing well, that means they're not doing bad things, after high school or after college, man. Right. They're doing good things. And that's all we want to see. We just want to make good citizens. That's all that's all, whether you go to college or you don't. We want you to graduate from high school. We want you to get a real diploma, and we want you to go to college if you want to, or we want you to get a trade, but we want you to be successful in life. And that's what we try to teach you.
Yep. Anything left? Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, man, I love the format now. I mean, this is awesome. This is great.
It is great. Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck. Right, good luck Friday. And
talk to
Coach
you soon.
We'll see you Friday night after the game.
Yes, sir.
See you, Coach. Right. Thanks. Good luck. Right. Coach Mike Bennett. Wow. That was good stuff.
Man,
that's always fun to have on, man.
Not much to do. Let's let him go.
Let him go. Just ask a question and let him go. He'll take it from there.
Yes, sir.
I wish everybody was like that. He's easier to interview.
Just get out the way.
Yeah, we're on TV. Everybody likes Coach Bennett. Yes, My God, he's so funny, especially right after games, man. That adrenaline is going, and he talks 90 miles an hour. He's the fastest talking Southerner that I've ever met. Jimbo Fisher, maybe. Jimbo Fisher, I think.
Yeah, Jimbo can talk.
Yeah, Jimbo can talk. All right, let's talk high school schedule. Week 8 of the Panhandle here at the beautiful Emerald Coast, Pensacola, Florida, in the Gulf of Mexico. Catholic High 5-1, taking on undefeated Walton 6-0 in a district game. Is it a district game?
Yes, it is.
For the district title, pretty much.
Yes, should be for the district title because Walton got by West Florida Tech. Let's hope Catholics goes there and takes care of business. I got the Crusaders by 10.
I do. I have the Crusaders in the win. All right, Escambia 5-1 at Choctaw 4-2. This, we believe, is also for a district title. We believe it is. These are the huge games. There's only 3 games left after this. 3 weeks left, I should say. And Escambia, I think, is going to pull it out in a close one if they take care of the ball. If they don't turn the ball over, it's Escambia. If they have 2 or 3 turnovers, like Coach Bennett and I talked about, I think these teams are so evenly matched that it does come down to a special teams play, or a turnover, or just something critical there at the end. It's not going to be a blowout by either team. I'm taking Escambia.
I like Escambia as well. I have them favored by 1.5. We were getting reports out of Fort Walton Beach last week that Cole Tab might be hurt. He was seen on crutches and iced down. We don't know if that was just a precaution, but I have the Gators by 1.5.
Yeah. All right. Navarre 4-2 at Milton 2-4. I think Navarre is just too strong, playing really well. 4-game win streak after opening with 2 losses, close losses. Milton's trending down a little bit. Navarre in a big way.
Yep, got them by 14. They're playing well. They'll win 7 ball games for sure this year.
Pine Forest 4-3 at IMG. 5-0, number 4 in the country. IMG is. Pine Forest, is a good team, but does not have the horses. IMG by 25.
I feel the same way you do. IMG by 28. Had a chance to see Pine Forest last week. Like Coach Bennett said, if they play like they did the second half, they can stay in it for a while.
All right, Pace 5-1. Coach Kent Smith has his Pace Patriots in playoff contention, but they are traveling to Tate, where Coach Rhett Summerford has got the Tate Aggies on the track. 4 wins, more wins in this year than the last 4 years combined. 4-2 Tate is. They're hot. This is a close game. It's up either way. The race for the season title, I think I'm 3 or 4 games behind Hobbs and who else? Who's right there with you?
I'm 2 games ahead of Kevin Perkins.
Kevin Perk, okay.
Yeah, so.
But he gets to pick last, so he gets to pick the opper. So I don't know, man. I'm taking Tate. I'm taking my old, where I coached for 5 years. Go Aggies.
Great pick, especially if you're behind right now. I'll just take Pace because Tate's had problems stopping people.
Right.
And that's the only thing. Tate could win this game, and it would not shock me. I got Pace by 6.5.
I agree.
But Tate could win by 6.5.
I agree. West Florida 2-4 They're starting out 2-0. PHS 0-7. They're in the wrong classification. They just need a reset there at PHS. West Florida in a big way.
Yeah.
Gulf Breeze 2-4 at. I'm going to take a shot at this Kissimmee, Florida team.
Let's do it.
All right, Toho Pia Caliga.
That's
close.
That's pretty close.
Toho Pia Caliga 4-2. Obviously, it's and they're pretty good. They're 4-2. Gulf Breeze 2-4. I'm going to take the home team, Kissimmee.
Obviously, Coach Greenkey is from down in that area, the Orlando area. And I think you're familiar with Kissimmee. Yeah. So he probably knows this guy here and knows what he's getting into.
Yeah.
But they've probably seen people throw the ball around like Gulf Breeze. Give me the home team.
Washington 1-4, trying to get on the win streak at Fort Walton Beach 3-3. I hope they do it. Fort Walton Beach in a close one.
I got Fort Walton Beach by 14 right now, so I think Bobby Clayton. They've probably got this game circled. Yeah.
All right, Jay 4-2 at Northview, 2-4 rivalry game in one rural.
Yes,
one rural. Jay 4-2, like I said, Northview's 2-4. They were in the state championship game last year, but they lost a bunch of seniors. But Summey has them playing a little better. Last week they took care of business. I was waiting for that game. I thought it was going to come a week earlier, but this is a close game. I know Jay's 4-2, Northview's 2-4, but they're playing at Northview, and Jay's lost the last two, and Northview's won last week. So I like to see trending teams, and I do the same thing in college. And we'll talk about college football in just a minute.
Yeah, you got to go Northview. They're trending better right now. And Jay, they're 4-2. Hey, haven't won that many games in a while. Coach Watson's doing a great job up there. Should be interesting in the north end of the county.
Absolutely. Let's jump to college, make the transition to college football Saturday, where Coach Tripp, I went 9-8 last week. Not great, not poor. I'm 48-36 on the year, 57%. Hobbs, you went 6-11 last week. You're 39-45. You're 46%. Ooh. So you got some catching up to do, but let's jump into it right now and start with Georgia. 31.5-point favorites at Vandy, 11 o'clock on CBS. I got Vandy covering.
I would like Vandy to 31 points. Yeah.
All right, Michigan really scoring a lot of points. 6-0, number 2 in the country. 33.5. They have to cover Indiana. 11 o'clock on Fox. I think Michigan is just on a train right now. I think it'll be Michigan in a romp.
I'll take the points.
All right, Hobbs going to take the points. Ohio State, 19.5-point favorites at Purdue. 11 o'clock on Peacock. I think Ohio State may be looking forward to next week. You got to pick 20 points is a lot at Purdue. I'm going to take Purdue to cover. Ohio State's looking forward to next week.
I'll take the points.
All right. FSU laying 17.5, hosting Syracuse Orange. Syracuse got killed by North Carolina last week, and I went back. Syracuse, always disappointing. Whenever I pick Syracuse, I get it wrong. Whenever I don't pick Syracuse, I get it right. FSU in a romp.
I'll take the points. Take the points.
I'm trying to catch up, man. Trying to catch up points, baby. Oklahoma's on a bye. Number 6, Penn State. The over-under is 56. I'm taking the under. They're 42.5-point favorites, UMass. Oh, my gosh, 42 points. I'm taking Penn State in the under on this one.
I'll take the points.
Yep. Good one. All right. Hey, under. Over-under, Hobbs. We hit like 3 out of 4 last week for the over-unders.
Yeah, when you go with those many points, it doesn't make any sense to take a side on that.
The big game, right? There's 4 huge games this week, and this is one of them. Washington, 5-0, 3-point favorites, hosting Oregon, 2:30 on ABC. Everybody's watching this one. I will be too. I like Oregon.
I like Bo Nix.
All right. Go Bo Nix. All right. Texas, number 9, as a bye. USC, this is second big game. The over-under 62.5. USC, just defense is a sieve. They can't tackle anybody. They're 109th in FBS in defense. I think Notre Dame pounds them out 2.5, 6:30 on NBC. I'm taking the over because both teams are going to score. I'm taking Notre Dame in an upset over USC. Boom. Get 2 in one shot.
I'll have to go with the Trojans on this. I don't trust Notre Dame.
Okay. You going over under on that any of those?
I don't know enough about it.
All right. Alabama, 19.5-point favorites. Arkansas, 11 o'clock. ESPN, never pick against Alabama.
The points.
Ever.
The points.
You're going to just sink lower, man, on the totem pole. 66 is the over-under on the UNC 5-1, 3.5-point favorites hosting number 25 Miami, 6:30 at night on ABC. I think North Carolina, Mac Brown always loses one during the year that he shouldn't lose. I think Miami was overlooking last week when they lost, and they were looking forward to North Carolina. He will rebound. They got a coaching blunder, cost him a loss. He took responsibility for it, as good coaches should, as we talked about on this show. And so I'm taking Miami in a rebound, 6:30 ABC, and the under. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Defense rules.
I think Miami pounds them.
Okay.
I take Miami in a lock.
Okay. Ole Miss got to buy Louisville, 6-0, 7.5-point favorites at Pitt, 5:30. I don't know, man. I like Louisville. I'm not sure about Pitt. I like Louisville in this one. Give them the 7.5.
Ooh. I have to go with Pitt.
All right. Oregon State, 5-1, 4-point favorites over number 18 UCLA, 7 o'clock on Fox. Oregon State. I'm taking Oregon State.
I like Oregon State as well.
All right. Let's go Utah. 13.5-point favorites hosting Cal at 2 o'clock. I'm taking Cal to cover. Low scoring game.
What? Who is it? Utah and Cal?
Utah and Cal.
I'll take Utah's laying.
Yep.
13.5. I'll take Cal.
Okay. Cal. Duke, 33.5-point favorites hosting NC State, 7 o'clock on the ACC network. Duke can score a lot of points, and State hasn't proven much to me. I'm taking Duke.
Yeah, I like Duke as well.
All right. UCLA's on a bye. Washington State's laying 8, hosting Arizona, 6 o'clock at night. I like Washington State. I know Arizona kept it close last week, but Washington State's at home. They're going to go.
Yeah, I like Washington State as well.
All right. Tennessee's laying 3.5, hosting Texas A&M. Texas A&M's not that bad. Tennessee showed me something awful the last couple of weeks. I'm going with Tennessee. I'm going with Texas A&M to, and I'll take the 3.5 points against them.
A&M's getting 3.5.
Yep.
Or laying 3.5.
They're getting 3.5.
Give me A&M.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
LSU's laying 11. Auburn's not that bad. LSU's inconsistent. They are playing, at Death Valley, LSU. I played there before. It's not easy, and especially at night, 6 o'clock on ESPN. But I'm taking Auburn Tigers. I'm taking the Tigers. Auburn to cover.
I like Auburn as well. Who's LSU to give 11?
No, right?
Yeah.
Kansas 5-1, laying 3 at Oklahoma State, 2:30 on FS1. I think Kansas is too strong. Oklahoma State's too inconsistent.
Yeah, give me Kansas.
All right. And then Kentucky 5-1, 2.5-point favorites over Missouri. I went back, studied Kentucky's schedule, and maybe they were a little overlooked. They didn't really beat anybody the first 5 games. They looked horrible against Georgia. Missouri's not that bad. I'm going to take the 2.5, take Missouri.
Wow. Give me Missouri.
All right. All right. So that wraps up local sports report. Coach's Corner. Troy 4-2. Minus 4.5 at Army is 2-3. The Gators 4-2. They're they're actually getting 2 at South Carolina, who's 2-3. These are 2 just average teams. Boring. Sorry, Florida Gator fans. Strap it up, man. Get with the big boys, man. Come on. You got to do something. Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State. They've dominated the playoffs. Now every conference and teams are still alive for a playoff berth. Just look at the top 12. Everybody is still in it. Halfway through, Hobbs. Almost all of them are undefeated. The only one-loss teams is Texas and Alabama, and you can't count them out. So you got 12 teams. Hobbs is gonna just shake his head. Because I'm gonna give it to him again. We need 12 teams this year. Because in number 12, North Carolina is undefeated, just crushed 5-1 Syracuse by 35. Number 11, Alabama. I guarantee nobody wants to play Alabama. Remember those signs across the country all those years in the stadiums? We want Bama. No, you don't. You really don't. You're just saying that. You're not even playing. It's not the players saying we want Bama. It's the fans that are saying it. You just want to watch Alabama play, I guess. I don't know. But Hobbs is against the 12-team playoff. I'm for it.
Obviously, the NCAA is against it as well, and they've scrapped that. They've come to their senses, and they're not going to do that.
Oh, gosh. All right. That's it. Thanks for coming, Hobbs. Thanks, Coach Bennett, for being on Local Sports Report. Don't forget, Saturday, replay Ozzie Newsome, the Wizard of Oz, is on Saturday's show, so don't miss that. Have a great sports weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you soon if I can find my mouse. Where is it, Hobbs?
Up there.
So long, everybody. So long.